Feeling trapped by all the stuff? Can't keep up? No time to think or plan? Has the rush and gush of modern life got you trapped?
Slow is the new fast. Slow is the new fast.
Slow is the new fast.
Set your coordinates. It's Mach 0, making time for life, one thing at a time, with your host, the VIP coach, John Davidson.
This is JD, this is the VIP coach, and I'm very grateful that I have an opportunity to speak with you today. My hope is that you're an entrepreneur and that you are doing your very, very best with everything you've got to bring a fantastic business into the world. A business that is unique, a business that is one of a kind, and it's made from you, and it's made from your imagination. You are a professional creator, and that makes you very distinct. You have become an entrepreneur, you are living life on your own terms, and if you keep going this way, and you keep creating solutions for all of these people, you are going to help the planet in many, many ways. You as a leader, as you change your character, as you look into the lives of people around you, as you produce solutions for your internal people, as you provide them a setting to choose the kind of institution that they want to create, those teammates bring you into a leader that is, well, it's a finer quality of being that you are. You see, I believe that bosses are actually created. They're a byproduct of who they put around them. So you know this to be true. You've had people in your organization that have sucked you dry of your time. At best, they are mediocre, scared, and they don't trust their gifts. Yes, it's a two-way street. Yes, you do need to trust them. You do need to see the greatness in them. But by choosing great people, people that are alert, curious, that are responsive, that are personally responsible and want to make a difference and choose things that matter to them in life. They sure make it easy to relate with, don't they? Someone who's self-directed, someone who doesn't settle, and someone who knows what they have inside is something really special. I'm not talking about arrogance. I'm not talking about haughtiness. I'm talking about real confidence, the recognition that every single human being on the planet has some kind of personal gift, something in their genes that was factory made for them to bring to the world. And you as a leader, you have the access point, you have the vehicle through this institution to transfer all of that great divine product, all of that unique ability that a human being has in them, and bring that out to the marketplace. You probably believe more in them than they do, but you know what? Because they see the unique abilities and the personal gifts in themselves, they're not that bad at doing it for themselves too, because they've chosen to organize their life around what they intrinsically desire and what they get energized by doing. And that's a spiritual economics, folks. Okay, now a lot of people on the planet, they don't organize their life that way. We organize our life out of being adequate. We go to school, we grow up, our teachers teach us to do something, and then we get an A, and then we call that God. We say, oh, I'm going to do that again because I know I'm special, because I know that's how I get nurtured, that's how I get attention, is I figure that out, and I earn something for it. And so I sell my soul, and then somebody says, perform this, and they say, perform that. And they say, if you do this, you'll be adequate, you'll be paid, you'll be given opportunity, you'll have security, you'll be able to know what's coming tomorrow. And that becomes familiar. But as an entrepreneur, just by the lifestyle choice that you've taken, you have chosen to create dreams. If anybody asks you what your career is, you can simply say, I create dreams for a living. Because that's what you do. You bring your own dreams into being, and you help the coexisting dreams of your team come into being as well. How do you do this? In one word, the truth. The truth. You do this by being true to what's your heart desire. You do this by listening. You do this by tapping into what your team says matters. But you've got to fight off a love affair with speed to do that. See, what's happening is in our modern world, we're getting caught in all this rush and gushing river of stuff and gadgets and screens and things to pay attention to, and our lives have become deeply integrated between life and work. There really is no difference. We're on call all the time. We live our lives like paramedics. Our attention span is under besiege, and the quality of our humanity is on its way down. Because the minute you turn someone into a performer, you steal their humanity. You can't run your organization anymore like a machine. They're not soldiers. These are human beings. You can't measure spirit, right? You as an entrepreneur, you have to leave some room for it being organic. Google knows this. What is it? 15% of people's work schedules are made for anything? To be able to occupy their own choices, to tap into their creative fire. Boy, that has a lot of trust. But what that autonomy does is it converts into productivity. So what kind of organization are you creating? Creative, responsible, organized, responsive, resourceful? You creating an organization that suspends what it knows? See, a lot of organizations are created on what we know from the past. But I think today's organizations, with you as an entrepreneur, is you create an organization based on something in the future that you're sensing, and you need to actualize it. Yeah. Something in you that's beyond your head, that's in your heart or down in your soul, in the ground of your being, asks you to create something. You're pregnant with it. And see, you have to answer the call. That's what the entrepreneur does. That's the dream. Where is that dream we've never known? You don't know where that dream is. You don't know if it's in your head. We have no evidence that it's in our skull. Rupert Sheldrake calls it an extended mind. That we have some extended mind, that we have the capacity to peripherally listen, to listen from the present moment and sense what the future is wanting to become. See, as an entrepreneur, you learn in a very different way. You don't learn in that traditional education model. You don't apply the past over the present. You learn as you go. You know the path by walking on it. You walk a mystery plan with practical feet. That's you. You show up. That's 50% of it, or even more. It's just showing up. Then you show up to the game. You put your war paint on. You listen. Half of it is organic. Yes, you show up prepared. Yes, you show up with an intention. But not everything is going to come together how you expect it. You don't predict the future. You create one. But to go to the next level, you got to let three things go. You got to let go of your comfort. You got to let go of your status. You got to let go of your security. That's right. You got to let go. What do you have to let go internally? You got to let go of some of that judgment. Because not everything you see is accurate. You base your actions on assumptions. You have worldviews. Yeah. You have a global set of generalizations from which you act. Not all those are accurate. You need to be true. See, it's not only being true to what you want. It's not only being true to what you deeply desire. It's being true to what you actually have now. And we are creatures of editorial. We edit reality. We edit ourselves. Yeah, we edit ourselves. We neglect our potential by editing ourselves. We conclude that we're this. We're concluding that we're that. We have negative beliefs about who we are. And then we use that. We use the power of that shame. We offset that with an outer shell. I need to do this. My ideal is to do this. I should be this. I should be that. I got to live up to this expectation. And then we're ruled by all those concepts, you see. We edit ourselves. We edit the world. We edit what other people think. And then we become our impressions. Yeah. We live around our impressions. And we hide the secrets inside. Or we hide the truth. Yeah. How easy is it to help other people tell us the truth when we can't even do it for ourselves? And here we are as leaders, so incomplete, so flawed, so human. Yet, we have to be something all the time. We have to be resilient. Yes, we have to be tough. We're not supposed to show that we're weak. But if I know the leaders that I've seen make great opportunities, they are strong enough to be weak. Yeah, they're vulnerable. This is not another ideal. It's just coming to themselves to the truth. Yeah, they prepare 7 times for a meeting, but they also know that 70% of what they've planned is not going to happen in the meeting. It's going to be a product of the scene, the environment, the people, the mood, the questions, the intention, and then just the random action. But there are random qualities that go on, and we have to take chances. So what do we take with us? Well, we take the decision to be true to ourselves. And we don't settle. We don't compromise the goal. We don't compromise our capacity to tell the truth, to say it as it is. And when others tell us what it is, when our team that we depend on tells us really good information, to help us see with our eyes, to help us understand better what's really going on, so that we're not insane trying to fill in all the gaps with our assumptions and our thought, then we awaken. We awaken by opening up other organs of our perception. What are organs of perception? That's jargon, JD. What's an organ of perception? An organ of perception is seeing with our hearts. An organ of perception is seeing from our soul. Our soul has no memory, folks. It has no remembrance. All it does is show up. It doesn't bring anything. We start with nothing. In the creative process, we start with nothing. We organize or we orchestrate separate from what we know. We choose, and we learn. We learn by confronting the truth. So how do we build an organization that commits to the truth? We have to make it safe. It's not all about converting people into performers and job descriptions and SOPs and structure and systems and becoming systems dependent and not human dependent. Are you crazy? These are human beings. The death sentence of business today in modern times. Systems. Automation. Doing it the same way every single time. Where is our creativity? It's not remarkable. If we're not being human, then there's nothing for our audience to talk about. They've seen it, they've been there, they've done that, they've had all the options, they've seen it before. We're not identifiable. Our intrinsic desire, our reasons why, is what forms our brand. Yes, your brand is only as good as why you're doing it. Look at what these companies are doing. Listen to all the sustainability that's out there, this deeper sense of purpose and social responsibility. We want to follow that. Why? Because it's noble. Great leaders, they don't have shitty guiding ideas. No, they have noble guiding ideas. They're not into mediocre guiding ideas. They have guiding ideas that aspire. And they're not settling on it. And you know what? The worst guiding idea is profit. Yes, you should have a profitable business. It wouldn't be a business without a profit. But your people don't care about that. No one cares about the profit as much as you do. You have to fight like hell to get it, but that's not how you get it. People get more done in your organization because they really care about something around there. And despite caring about it, they're willing to make some rules. They're willing to stay on top of it. And instead of being soldiers, they're committed and they're enrolled, not because you sold them a vision, not because you told them the vision, not because you tested it, not because you consulted it. No, you have co-creators. Yeah. You've got people that want their institution too to be a certain way, but they risk it being different than your vision. Maybe you look for alignment. Maybe you look for that kind of alignment. Yeah, you want everybody to agree with each other. We'll all get along. Oh, is that deadly? But I know organizations that capitalize on differences. They love variety. They use it. They capitalize on it. People come, talk about their visions. It's different. It's not the same, but there's a shared understanding. Oh no, but JD, whoa, wait a minute, buddy, wait, we can't talk about all this stuff. Don't bother me about my vision. We got work to do. Hey, we got deadlines to meet, man. Hey, we can't talk about that stuff. Really? You can't afford not to talk about it. You have to tap. You have to ask your people what kind of institution they want to live their lives for. Because if you don't, then guess what? You don't have any psychic salary in your organization. You've got money. And you're going to probably overuse compensation. Your people are going to end up feeling entitled because all you've got is money to pay them. It's not enough. It's not enough. If they don't have their gifts, if you don't drive capacity in voluntary energy, people that want it for its own sake, I'm worried. You're not going to be competitive. I'm sorry, but you just won't, because you have to build your business as art. That's what you have to do. You want to be the best there is. You want to be the one of a kind, the unique one. You want to be the one who is the very, very best in the world. It's not about being the best in the world. It's about staying true to your aspirations. See, but you're too busy being busy to do what makes you less busy. I've said this all along the way. So you got to get your priorities straight. There has to be time made, priority made for development. 6% of your budget should be around development. You can't not do it. Your greatest risk is to not do this. You can't give orders and have people follow it. It can't be just about job descriptions. It can't be about an operating manual because someone told you to run an autopilot business so you can run off and have a free life. Your people, they'll catch on to that. They're not stupid. And by the way, if you're wanting to have all that free life, you're in the wrong business. Because it shouldn't have all the time this need for you to want to get away. If you want to get away from your business all the time, you're not in the right business. It shouldn't feel like work. Because you love what you do. You love what you want to create. Sure, there's suffering. Sure, there's tough work. Sure, it's difficult. Sure, there's failure. Sure, there's frustration. But you know what? The overriding, predominant quality is that it so matters to you that you're willing to make the sacrifices. All right, think about what I just said. And let's take a look here at some of these opportunities on the break. We're going to take a break. I'm going to show you some commercials from High Level Performance. I'm also going to be talking about my books here in a moment. And I have a new one coming out called The Catalyst, which is due to come out in the next few months. And I'll tell you more about it after the break. Stand by.
Grow your business and grow as a human being with these captivating books authored by the VIP coach himself, John Davidson. The Day I Built My Barbecue is about creative freedom. Learn how you can not only live well, but also grow a thriving business at the same time. John shows you his step-by-step technique with the principles, strategies, and steps to move from a business operator to a business owner. The Day You Build Your Barbecue is the day we all wish for. Totally free of distractions, totally available to living well, fully present. Then don't miss Unstoppable You. It's about creative value. When we do what we love and love what we do, we discover ways to make our business more fun and monetize our passions. Through stories, tools, and steps, this book will help you bring something to the world that no one else can and bridge your most unique talents to the deepest aspirations you have of the future. And stand in the presence of all you are. It's about creative purpose. What does it mean to live on purpose? How do we work with the mystery that life presents us at every moment? In this book, John shows us through the silent spaces in life how to connect with our innermost sacred projects and passages. You'll learn how to bring the work, language, and presence of the soul into everything you do. Visit highlevelperformance.com to pick up any of these books in paperback or Kindle editions today. That's highlevelperformance.com. From go time to slow time. Slow is the new fast. Mach 0, making time for life, one thing at a time. With VIP coach John Davidson.
The Catalyst. Yep, JD, the Catalyst, the Catalyst. Who is the Catalyst? I asked that question throughout my new book about how creations come into the world, that life is in the business of creating life. And that leaders have to be able to bear witness to some of these energies that they foster, what I call frequencies, or the surge. And this surge is a field, a plane of energy from which they tap. And when they tap into it, especially collectively, they are evoked. They have an evocative response to some kind of defining feature in the world. And that's what the catalyst is that our lives, we've all experienced synchronicities. We've all had strange coincidences. And so I've noticed that that happens when we hold an intention deeply of a future we seek to create. And we have a clear picture of the current reality that we now have. And by holding those two pictures side by side, man, do predictable miracles start to happen. It's like turning on a light switch, man. You don't know how lights turn on. You couldn't explain to me how a light bulb probably turns on. It's a complex process. You don't need to know. You just turn the switch. Same thing with these kind of forces at play. When you go into the mystery and take your intention with you, and you are courageous enough to operate from your heart and organize your future around your gifts, in fact, it calls your gifts to come into being, you convert those risks into some kind of attraction. And the attraction are unforeseen forces that come to your aid, and I don't know how they work. But I know that if you don't do this, then you never position yourself into the opportunity of that field. And you must do this. You must risk something. You must let go of things in order to let something come. You have to disattach. You've got to let go of old habits. You've got to let go of people. You've got to let go of any attachments. You've got to let go and come to the reality. Come to terms with the groundless quality that reality has. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everything the future needs is given to you in this moment. You and the universe itself are the co-creative catalyst. That you have to harness and listen to what wants to happen, while at the same time organize your intention from that place. You come into soul service. Yes. You come into knowing what you need to do, how you need to use the life that you've been given. Purpose. It's a felt sense. And it's nothing that you discover, it's what you consider. You can't discover what really matters to you. You conceive of what matters to you. You add meaning to your life. You make up the fairy tale. You do it on a team level too when you co-create with your teammates. What do we want to create? What kind of organization do we want to bring into being? How do we know we're operating at our very, very best? What do we need to risk? What do we need to put at risk in order to create that? What really orients us at a very, very deep level? What is our true work? Man, are you going to answer that, and that will be endless. I believe that's dynamic because we're shaped by what we shape. We shape things, and then we're shaped by that which we shape. That's how it happens, folks. You don't change. You are changed by that which you seek to create. You know this is true deep down, is that which you've created has changed you. You've had many, many lives. You've been brought here. You've died and you've come back to life. You've died and you've come back to life. Not literally. You've died while you're alive. That's what the word leader means, is to die. The word life means to die. The original word in leader. I have to die to step across a threshold, to move from this territory to the next. And what is it in me that I need to let go of? What is waiting to die, and what is waiting in me to be born? You can't get your mind around this. You have to tap into deeper organs of perception. Desire of the king, your desire. It's that which you want for its own sake. Why do you want it? Why do you guys as a team want it? There is no fancy answer. You don't have to prove it. It's generative love. It brings you into the love that you are. When you love, it brings you into the love that you are. It brings you home. What is the self? It's that love at the deepest level. It's that shared self, the light that's in you and the light that was already in you all along, your intention, your divinely made intention that is made to serve. And that has meaning for you, and that's what draws energy. That's how you come into you. You come home to yourself. How may I serve? You make a decision as an entrepreneur, as an entrepreneurial organization, that we will not expect opportunity. Instead, we will create value first. Yes. Amen. We will create value first before expecting opportunity. Contribution over entitlement, man. Contribution over entitlement. Contribution over entitlement. Yes, you have more to give. Yes, you have great work. Not little work, not puny work. Yes, you have great work to do. It's up to you to answer that. If you don't want to see the thread running through you, your people, you have come together for a very distinct reason. There are no accidents in this. Everything the future needs is given to you in this moment. Even betrayal, even your disappearance, even your demise, everything, and yes, everything is waiting for you. Everything is waiting for you. What struck you? What struck you? What struck you yesterday? What was it that surprised you? Are you paying attention? Really? Or are you just running through the motions? Are you skimming peak to peak, just kind of reacting and responding to things? It's like a big blur. It's like running on the wheel, the samsara, as the Buddha talks about. It's more of the same. Yeah, you could stay on the familiar. You could live it that way. Sure you could. You could live safe. You could go out, you could get a job, you can raise children, you could make a little money, have a little bit of prestige. Sure, you could do that. That's a choice you can make. But you have another opportunity. You can live in an economy of results. Your means of production is to put your security at risk to create more opportunity. That's a results orientation. There is no security. And by the way, I'm sure you know now, based on our changing world, there absolutely is no security. That at this point, the nature of reality is groundless, it is volatile, it is uncertain, it is complex, it is ambiguous, but that gives you agility. Yes. As Bob Johansen would say, it's like staccato running over sharp rocks. Ha, 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 ha. Da, 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 da. We have to try enough, like an ice pick. We have to throw it in enough to find our leverage point. We either learn or we quit. We make changes to what we repeat again, and we try again, and we learn. We have to learn in stages. That's right. We have to look like fools. Oh, no, wait a minute. I don't want to go through that stage, JD. I don't want to look like a fool. I don't want to look stupid. I got to look like I'm on top. I'm going to go out and buy a car, make it look like I have a lot of money. Oh, I've got pimp factor. I'm going to wear the best suit, even though I can't afford it. I got to buy the best house, because I got to play the game. Shoot, I got to get big. I got to get sizable. Oh man, I got to prove it. Everybody doubted me. I got to do this. I wish you well. How about being a sustainable business? How about being a sustainable business? How about building a great supporting team? How about learning the specifics, the steps, the thinking, the perspectives, the leadership attitudes? How about cultivating what it takes to do that? So I got news for you. That's not an easy task, and I got news for you. That is not something that you're going to do alone. If you think for a second that you're going to be rugged individualistic on that you're going to go about that on your own past models and what you know, oh boy. I'll tell you firsthand, building a team is really something. And I've worked with over 500 coaching clients and organizations to say that. Boy, I can tell you that. Hiring is the number one decision in your organization that everything depends on. Don't tell me it's marketing, because if you're good at what you do, people will talk about you. You don't need to be that savvy of a marketer. You just need to be worth talking about. You need to stay true to yourself. Be more of yourself and be competitive. Going out and interrupting people, marketing them, isn't the way it goes anyway. So to start being on offense with your marketing plan and bothering people creates a bunch of angry people. It's a waste of time. So let's build a business that's worth talking about. Marketing is behavior. Everyone in your business is a marketer. Yes, everyone, even the one cleaning the bathroom, even the cleaning person after hours. They are a marketing director. It should be on their name tag. Everyone is a marketing director. Customer service? Definitely. How much account development are they doing? Probably 10%. Why aren't they doing 80%? What could you do to swing them into 80%? Why are your salespeople doing customer service? Why aren't they focused on creating interest, stimulating interest in what you do, converting sales? That's what they should be focusing on. They're ninjas. They're specialists. How many unique abilities, how many personal gifts do you know of your team? Have you taken the time to really investigate what people absolutely are thrilled doing? Are you delegating into that kind of energy where they walk into your office and say, hey, Greg, can you give that to me? I love doing that. Hey, can you give that to me? How many times do you get asked that all day long? Hey, can you give me that kind of work? Hey, can you give me that kind of work? No, 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 no. You're managing. You're giving assignments. You're asking. You're measuring. You got to hold people accountable. Right. Holding people accountable is a sign that people are not using their personal gifts in the work. Because when people are using their personal gifts, one, they're so energized by doing it, they don't need management. They don't need government. They love it. And number two is they make their own standards. See, when they're in the result, they just get the result done. You don't care anyway how it's done. As long as it's ethical, it doesn't hurt anybody. But it's really up to them. The how is really up to them. The what? Sure, you need help. You need specific things, results. Of course. You have standards. But it's not enough. It's not enough. You've got to tap into their intrinsic desires and their personal gifts. So what's your next step? Can you visualize your next meeting? Can you imagine tapping into that, having a conversation with them, having them go out in their lives and asking other kindred spirits, how have I affected you profoundly? What kind of value have I given to you in range of our relationship? What outside our relationship has also created value? What if they did some research on themselves? Everyone has this factory-made skill. What are you doing to cultivate it? It should be the centerpiece of your driving performance curve. Personal gifts. Yeah. You are the platform. You have the portal. Your leadership is the thermostat. You set the climate. They choose. They choose. What do we want to create? This is our show for today, folks. I was in your face about leadership. My hope, my deepest hope, is that you are employing some of these habits, ideas, and attitudes into your business. A coach is a wingman. A coach is a court jester. The court jester tells the king the truth without being killed. The coach has confession. You don't see him. He's distant. On the phone. He's got nothing on you. He's not your friend. All he does is make sure that you are at your very, very best and that you're held to a certain standard as a climbing buddy, as a wingman. And who wouldn't want a resource like that to get their back? Because here's the deal. To really compete today, everyone wants to kick you to the curb anyway. It's so highly competitive with too many options. You've got incredible demand on you. You need to continue your education. So if something in this sparked you or you'd like some help and you're wise enough to know that, well, you don't know everything and you're comfortable with your own ignorance, you're willing to be wrong, we're here. We're at highlevelperformance.com, and our program is called the VIP Coach. It's made by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. We've coached over 500 entrepreneurs running service organizations throughout planet Earth. Some of them, if they've really done the work, have gone to the stratosphere. But it's really up to you. You take responsibility for the performance. We'll do our job. You get the motivation, you get the organization, you get structure, you get clarity, you get accountability, you get Mach. Well, what would you do? What would be possible? Something really to think about. Something to consider. Something to sense very deeply. Because today, one of the most important decisions you're going to make from here to there are the partners that you pick. Who's in your wheelhouse? Who's in your wheelhouse? Who's eliminating your blind spots? You can't do this blind. Who's helping you see the full picture? You got to pay for the truth. Not everybody has reasons to give it to you. You depend on the truth. No nonsense bottom line feedback to get it done. To be able to see where to make changes, timely changes in response to current realities. To be able to see better between here and where you're going. To have that kind of checkpoint. To be able to make tweaks and adjustments and see where you need to start, stop, or continue various things. Yeah, that's really key, is to stay in the flow. And to have that kind of pleasurable involvement. To have involvement and engagement, what we call intent. Involvement and engagement. Involvement and enjoyment. Where you get pleasurably involved in everything that you do and you become the very, very best. Doesn't happen right away. No one becomes a black belt overnight. But if you make that kind of steadfast commitment to you, your family, and your peers, and your team, they want a gifted boss. Oh, do they ever. And they love working with serial creators. who are freed up with creative freedom, driven by creative purpose, and incredibly valuable to the market. But you got to live a certain way to do that. You got to harness the power of your free time. Yeah. You got to get to the relationships that matter. You got to abandon all the non-essentials. You got to delegate. Yeah. You got to connect with this sense of purpose. And you got to commit to that sacred project. You got to build a business so you can scale and sell that's sustainable, not just own a job. HighLevelPerformance.com, 714-912-9261. That's 714-912-9261. Thank you for listening to the VIP Coach. Convert everything that you've heard into something productive, or think about the one thing that you got out of this show that would make everything else simple or unnecessary. See you next time.
For more tools, go to highlevelperformance.com. Better business, better life. Fast growth, keeping things simple. Or visit us on Facebook. Mach 0, making time for life, one thing at a time. Set boundaries, focus your attention, and maintain a positive state of mind. Hire a VIP coach to help you. Call 714-912-9261.